Let's do example B. What we want to do is we always want to get the same base, right? Because if you're dealing with exponents, to get exponents alone, you want to drop the bases. To drop the bases, they must be identical. So the first thing we're going to do is aim towards getting the same bases. I have 0,5, which is a decimal, and I have 1/4, which is a fraction. Those are not the same. So I'm first going to convert my decimal to a fraction. So this becomes a half. I have a half to the power of x minus 1 is equal to a quarter to the power of x. Okay, now again, you have two choices. You can first make them numerators, unhappy numerators, or you can first make them prime bases. I'm going to go ahead and make them prime bases first, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, that's a prime base. I'm happy with the 2. I'm going to convert that one to a prime base. So I'm going to say 1/2 to the power of x minus 1 is equal to 1/2 squared. Now, the numerator, I don't do anything with it simply because it is 1. There's no simplification there. If it wasn't 1, we'd have a different conversation. But for the time being, for the sake of simplicity, this is where we're at. Wonderful. So we have now gone from decimal to fraction, and then we went from non-prime bases to prime bases all around. So it's prime, 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 prime. Good. Now, next step that we're going to have is we are going to make everything numerators. We're going to get rid of the fractions inside. So what does that mean? It means 1/2 is actually equal to 2 to the power of minus 1. It is 2 to the power of 1, but it's downstairs. And on the other side, we have 2 to the power of minus 2 because it's 2 to the power of 2, but it's downstairs. What's left over here? You have x minus 1, and over here you have x. Next step, we are going to multiply our inside with our outside. Okay, so over here you have 2 to the power of negative x positive 1 is equal to 2 to the power of negative 2x. Beautiful. You have reached your first checkpoint. You have prime bases. They are identical, same bases. So now you can drop the bases. Hip, hip, hooray. We are going to keep our exponents. Minus x plus 1 is equal to negative 2x. At this point, when you go from here to here, you don't write your exponents as the small superscript anymore. You write it as if they are normal coefficients, big numbers. Okay, so this is a checkpoint. Now we can solve for x, and we can say, okay, we have x and 1 on one side, and we have 2x on the other side. We need to decide who goes where. So you can choose, it doesn't really matter, but I am going to take the x over. So that means I am going to say this is negative x. I'm going to say plus x on both sides. This means that I have 1 is equal to minus 2x plus 1. That gives me minus 1x. It's important for you to use your calculator if you are unsure. I'm still not very happy because I have a negative sign and I want a positive sign. So you can either multiply or you can divide by negative 1. And that gives us x is equal to negative 1. That is your answer for B.